What is
Let's
going
go.
on, hockey fans? Welcome back to episode 19 of Lightin the Lamp. I'm your host, Dola, and with me, as always, is JG. How you doing, pal?
Fantastic, man. Long day at Monmouth Park. Ending the summer off right here. Betting, firing. Zip Man goes tomorrow again after a big win a couple weeks ago. Trying to get another one off the layoff. Big second for eights and aces today. Just ending the Jersey summer off right here with a little Monmouth Park. Headed to the Butcher's Block in Long Branch, right on the beach. A little steak dinner tonight. Just, Monday's it. We're headed into fall over here on the East Coast. So just trying to enjoy myself and get ready for this Stanley Cup game tonight. It's going to be huge. Very excited. What about you, my man? How we looking over there?
It's kind of amazing how Orange County is just like a bubble, man. It's really a bubble. Like you see, like if you ever look on the news, like it always looks like California is just absolutely burning to the ground, and it is, and everyone's been having kind of those orange smoke, just blowing from all the way over from the West Coast. But honestly,
not over there in Costa Mesa, huh, bud?
Dude, it's blue skies. Just absolutely gorgeous out. Air quality seems pretty decent.
The 1% goes to Orange County for a reason, pal.
Bro, someone sold their soul to Satan. Something happened where they made a deal with the devil to leave this place out of it.
Of summer weather over there. God bless you. We're running out quick here. We're looking at a 49 low tonight, so we're headed for fall really quick here.
It's been 95 here, man. It's been a heat wave.
Let's be honest. 48 degrees just screams hockey. So I'm excited. It's going to be chilly tonight. Two teams from hot weather states are getting after it, but it's a cold weather game. So give me the 48 degrees, get me the game on, and let's get after it, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got some stuff to buzz about here. We got a series to go over that just ended, and got a lot of stuff to go on. So let's get after it.
So, like always with every Lamp episode, we like to do some beer chugging and some beer drinking on this episode. I know JG's got a.
I'm going to follow you with Pink Whitney right down the hatchet. So, Pink Whitney, you stole our Budweiser. We were big. We were excited about that. We're still going to chug them. I'm going to throw a Pink Whitney down. Hopefully maybe the Barstool boys and Spit and Chicklets boys throw us a little just a little Instagram clout here because we're not getting
a share, or a comment, just a like, share, or comment to the boys. Cheers. We're going to put this down. We're going to light the lamp a little bit here, and we'll get after it and talk some hockey in a second.
Salute. That was a rough one.
Well, got a beautiful Pizza Porch Schwami's I.P.A. to follow her up here for everybody. But JG, a boot in the books. Just absolutely mangled it.
And a double shot of Pink Whitney in the books.
In the books. So, fans, we're going to absolutely get into it. What we want to cover here today is the wrap-up to basically the Eastern Conference Finals, and then really doing a Stanley Cup preview for you here. I don't know if you didn't tune into episode 18, JG and I got off the rails, went down rabbit holes, got on detours, and basically said everything you could say about the Western Conference Finals. So if you didn't tune in, go back to that episode. We're not going to touch on it too much. We really want to talk about games 5 and 6 between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Islanders, and really kind of highlight what happened and how it all ended, and then really get into just the Stanley Cup Final between the Dallas Stars and Tampa Bay Lightning. So let's get right into it. And, really a lot to talk about. If I'm going to say anything before you get into it, JG, really impressed by that Isles group. You can't say resilience more enough in a group. I was watching Anders Lee do the post-game wrap-up.
I love him.
You got to love that guy. Like, he was getting choked up. You just saw him. It was hard for him to even say, man.
Captain. He's the definition of a captain. You saw it in his interview. You saw it. He fought Tom Wilson, and that brought the Islanders to the conference final. The day he fought Tom Wilson, the world turned. It went on 180 degrees halfway, and the Islanders just saw the fight in their captain, and they really rode his coattail. He didn't put up the points that some of the other guys did, but he did everything while scoring goals and putting up points. I mean, he was the definition of a captain. I was impressed with him. I mean, I know you got into it a little bit. Game 5, awesome. I mean, the Islanders did what they had to do. They bring it to Game 6, and to be honest, in my opinion, Game 6, thought it was all Tampa Bay, was unbelievably impressed with Varlamov, was unbelievably impressed with the fight and the heart of the Islanders, knowing they were getting tagged along and beat up on and peppered. They hung in. Varlamov kept them in. They went to overtime. They don't get the bounce, but, I mean, hell of a hockey game. And, you know, I commend them. As much as I can't stand them, and I've told you I hate them 1,000 times, I came to love a couple of the guys on the team. They got a nice roster. I love the coaching staff there. Can't stand Lou Lamoriello, but obviously a genius. So, I mean, don't have enough good things to say about the program after the season they had. You know, hats off to you. But this Tampa Bay team is just something. We went over it for an hour last episode, but it's something for the books, man. If you look at it on paper, and we talk about paper all the time, it doesn't matter in the end. But, I mean, this is a team where you look at it on paper, and how does it lose ever?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it was I got to say, it's just they're a team that I'm not going to forget about next year, right? When we actually get into lighting the lamp, you know, into the 2021 season, and we start looking forward, you know, and if they go to playoffs again, and I definitely expect them to be there, if the Rangers are there, they're going to be someone I'm not going to be writing off in the first round. I can guarantee you that. But let's get into some of the specifics. You were touching on it a little bit. Game 5, Game 6. Game 5, who stood out to you, you know?
I mean, obviously, Braden Point not in the lineup. Didn't love it. Honestly, I had a bet in. Didn't throw a lamp bet because I wasn't really – not that it mattered if I was confident in it or not, because we've done nothing but lose. But I did take the Isles. As soon as I saw Point out of the lineup, I jumped all over it. Easily still could have won the game. And that is, for me, the storyline. I mean, you watch a game where the Islanders, they squeak one out in double OT. Eberle gets the opportunity of a lifetime, boyhood dream. He finishes it. And, you know, for me, I just, even with Braden Point out of the lineup, you watch the team that could have easily won another hockey game and ended the series. I mean, without Stamkos and Point, they're still as good as they were the night before. And that, to me, just says worlds of, you know, it's just amazing. It's the confidence, the lineup, the power, the skill, the everything, the physicality. They have it all from top to bottom, from, like we talked about the other day, D1 through 6 through, you know, through line 1 through 4 on the forwards. They have, and goaltending, obviously. I mean, they have every piece they need all the way through. And I mean, for me, the storyline was obviously the Islanders came back. They went after it. We went to overtime in Game 6. Probably could have snagged the game. Tampa Bay, just to me, they controlled the series from top to bottom through all 6 games. Even the spurts that the Islanders looked like maybe they could be as good a team, they were just overwhelmed. Bottom line, I mean, they were overwhelmed. Tampa Bay did everything right. They battled in the corners. They won faceoffs. They scored goals in front of the net. I mean, they do it pretty. They do it ugly. Just a team that in the Eastern Conference was almost impossible to beat coming into this playoff, and we kind of overlooked them, in my opinion. We didn't really talk much about Tampa Bay early on. Had a lot of hot takes, liked a lot of teams. Didn't talk much about Tampa Bay.
I think it was more we didn't talk about them just because we knew they were semi of a world beater, and we kind of figured we'd be getting into them eventually, right? We wanted to talk about what was kind of current, and I figured Tampa Bay was going to be here. And I mean, really at the helm of that, I mean, Victor Hedman, I mean, Game 5, Game 6, averaging about 30 minutes a game, just like absolutely ridiculous. Guy never leaves the ice. And I honestly think now that he has 4 more games guaranteed, I think he's going to tie Leach at minimum. I think he puts in a couple more goals in the next series, but I mean, just unbelievable effort. He has 9 goals. He has 9 goals right now. He's literally tied with Brad Park and Bobby Orr, and he's only behind Leach and Coffey.
Nobody you ever heard of before, right? Never heard of those guys.
Bobby Orr, yeah.
Bobby Orr, maybe the best defenseman to ever play the game.
So funny enough, but like, listen to this. Listen to this. Like, both the years that Leach scored 11 goals and the year that Paul Coffey scored 12 goals in a single playoff season, they were both the Conn Smythe winners. I mean, Hedman's playing 30 minutes a game. He's got 9 goals. And there's a lot of players that don't have 9 goals, forwards that don't have 9 goals. He's been an absolute weapon.
I'm pretty sure he got a goal in 7 of his last 8 games.
I don't know if he scored game 6. He's big
goal.
Game 5, he definitely had a big goal. But I gotta say,
he scored in game 6 too.
He's he's just absolutely. I mean, it's going to be just amazing to see Miro Heiskanen. It's going to be amazing to see Miro Heiskanen versus Victor Hedman, just because, as you said in many episodes past, Miro Heiskanen will be probably the next Victor Hedman for the next 10 years.
I agree with you 100%. Let's see if the young gun could put up with the pace of a 10-year NHL veteran who's in the midst of his prime. I think Heiskanen's great. I think what he's done is incredible. But we're talking about a 22-year-old and a 28-year-old who's done it, who's been to a conference final, who's been to a cup. Let's see who graduates in this series. To me, Hedman and Tampa Bay, I love Dallas. I love Tyler Seguin. I love Jamie Benn. I rode their coattail last year when they grabbed Zuccarello. Really thought they were going to go to the cup after losing in 7 to St. Louis. Obviously, heartbreaker. Either of those teams could have won the cup last year. And again, something we've talked about a few times. Everybody's overlooked Dallas this entire playoff. Nobody said a word about them. Everybody's like, oh, they're Dallas. They could be good. They could be okay. They might be all right. Nobody's really had a take on them. Even NHL Network, any of these places that we watch and we listen to, everybody's take has been kind of blah because nobody really knew what to expect of a team that was great last year, has some older players, let go of a Zuccarello, needs to make some signings. Obviously, Bishop got hurt, so now you're like, okay, it's all over. It's done. It's finished. But, I mean, Khudobin comes in there, 34 years old, gets his shot, and he doesn't show any signs of stopping. So maybe, all this Tampa Bay talk I'm doing, Dallas comes out and embarrasses my picks as usual. So who knows? But, I mean, I'm excited for the series. I think 2 totally opposite style of plays. I think you have Tampa Bay, who's speedy, well physical and skilled, but overly speedy and skilled. And then you have a Dallas team who's heavy, veteran-like, has the presence in the locker room. The goaltending is there. I mean, it's just opposite styles. It could go either way. Dallas could come out and win in 5. Tampa could come out and win in 5. We could see a 7-game series. It's just too hard to predict for me right now. Obviously, we're going to come up with some predictions here at the end, but I'm going to be a last-minute decision because I can't figure out what's going to happen here.
JG, I'm actually kicking myself that we didn't bet Game 5 and Game 6 and bring the Lamp Boys back. We should have bet heavy because look at Game 5 and exactly what you said. Braden Point not playing. You bet you take the Islanders. You actually take the Islanders in that game. But then look at what happened Game 6. I mean, actually hold on. Let me say this. Hold on, JG. Hold on. You had not only Game 5, you have Johnny Boychuk who hit the ice for the first time ever. Who played against the Panthers a lifetime ago, 56 days ago, left Game 1. Johnny Boychuk comes back. Braden Point goes out. And then in Game 6, Adam Pelech sits out. And then you get Braden Point back. So you lose one of the Islanders' best defensemen and you get one of the best goal scorers. Dude, the money was there for us. It was sitting on the table. And I didn't actually bring it up to you to either go after either game. But, I mean, that's all you needed.
I should have best goal scorers on Game 5. That was my fault. It was last-minute decision.
But still, Game 6, no Pelech, and then you get Braden Point back. That's a swing, man. That's a big swing of you lose
my problem. I was going to bet Game 6, obviously. Yeah. After I bet Game 5, I'm like, let me look at 6. I never noticed that Pelech was out. I didn't somehow, after all the work I did this week to set up for our next couple short episodes and for today, and I somehow overlooked Adam Pelech being out. And let's be honest, nobody's talking about Adam Pelech
gone.
For the last however many years he's been in the Islanders. He might be one of the top 15 defensemen, overall defensemen, not point-scoring defensemen, because we've got some studly offensive defensemen in the NHL today. But he might be one of the top 15 overall defensemen in the entire league.
Him and Ivan Provorov really impressed me throughout the entire playoffs, and I would agree. He is very
two guys that I've always been high on Provorov for years now. I thought he was going to turn into some type of stud. Pelech, I've watched on a day-to-day basis for more than 3 years now. He's been an Islander for a couple of years. I'm a Ranger fan. I watch him. I watch him at least 6 times a year. I live on the East Coast. I got MSG Plus. I see nothing but Devils, Rangers, Islanders, Buffalo. I get to watch any of those games anytime I want. I've gotten to see Pellick a lot. I watched him during the season. He was impressive, but what he did in these playoffs took him to a whole new level as far as being a part of the league. So, like we said in the beginning, I mean, hats off to the Islanders, to everything they've done, from the new ownership to Lou Lamoriello to Barry Trotz, all the way down to the lineup, who really counts because those are the guys who did it. But, just an impressive overall, playoff for the Islanders. And, even though their core is getting a little bit older, watch out for them the next 2 or 3 years, man, because they also have some prospects that nobody talks about in Kiefer Bellows and Oliver Wahlstrom, first-round draft picks, Noah Dobson, guys that were elite world junior players for USA and Canada and are going to be studs in the NHL that are floating around in the A and between the NHL that haven't made their move yet. So maybe coming up here that's what happens.
Oh, I hear you. And I would say just, kind of just finishing off on that series, and as we transition into the Stanley Cup talk, it's just, what really surprised me when I watched that Game 6, and like you said, Tampa Bay controlled it. Like, you even heard Ron Cooper got mic'd up a little bit, and he was like, "This is your game, boys. This is your game. You control them." You heard it just from him. You just saw it in the belief in the locker room. But what I would even say beyond that, it was funny what's not funny, but Yanni Gord, Barclay Goodrow, and wow, I'm even blanking on his name right now. Coleman and Blake Coleman, they started the game and they were almost double shifting. You look at their time on ice, they averaged over 20 minutes for Game 5 and Game 6. They were all
3 episodes. It's the depth.
And we've been talking about them for so long. And again, dude, 20 minutes is not a short amount of time. I think Ron Cooper had them matched up a lot against the Isles.
20 minutes in a hockey game is top 6 minutes. I mean, I was a 1 through 4 defenseman growing up. When I got to the junior level where I played with kids who were going to move on, I was a 4 through 6. If I played 15 minutes in a game, when I came off the ice, I was soaked. I was gassed. Granted, I wasn't the best player out of everybody I was playing with. I wasn't the most in shape. These guys are workhorses, man. I mean, they're playing. You got guys on Tampa Bay from Hedman to the third line that are playing 20-plus every night, and he's rolling lines like nothing. He doesn't have to take a second look and say, "Hold on, you go out." He just says, "Go, go, 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 go." He doesn't have to think about it, and that is the difference between Tampa Bay and everybody else this year. There is no gap. Maybe between 1 and 4 there's a gap, but between 2 and 4 there is no gap. It's 2 through 4 is the same thing. You can roll everybody. And that's it. But I mean, we did a lot of talking about this series. I'm going to let you finish up off this point, and then let's move into the Stanley Cup because we got plenty to go off here. So
that was the point, though, right? It's just, can Tampa Bay roll 4 lines and keep rolling 4 lines? And can Tampa Bay just put out his third line against someone's first or second line while their third line is putting up not goals and assists against first and second lines, and then let his top guys run against other teams' third and fourth lines? Are we going to see that against Dallas? And if they do, does Kucherov and Braden Point just absolutely just take over the series? They've already said Stamkos is out for Game 1. They're kind of hopeful, but I think everyone's just really teasing at this time. I don't think Stamkos is coming back, unfortunately. Dude, think about it. He's not played a single game since March. Is he going to have the endurance? Is he going to have the endurance, the capability to play 25, 30, play those top 6 minutes?
Would you rather have Blake Coleman and Pat Maroon or Barclay Goodrow, or would you rather have Blake Coleman and Steven Stamkos and Barclay Goodrow or Pat Maroon on the fourth line? Because let's be honest, if he's healthy, he doesn't have to play 25 minutes. He could play. Their fourth line scores like the first line. So does their third line. So let's be honest, he could go into a role that suits him without playing 25 minutes. And that is another point that makes Tampa Bay as scary as they are. I mean, you can take Stamkos in Game 2 or 3 and say, yeah, you might not be able to play 22 minutes, but you could play 12 and you can score 2 goals while you do it. So let's throw you on the third. Let's throw you on the fourth. So, I mean, to the point that we made, just another egg in the basket for Tampa Bay. And, obviously we're going to get into the Cup and predictions here. And, I'm not going to make a prediction yet, but you're hearing where I'm leaning from the conversation. So let's jump into the Cup here. I mean, very excited about 2 teams that really kind of annihilated the playoffs. I mean, Dallas quietly walked through the Western Conference without an issue.
I don't want to say without issue. Listen, they went to Game 7 against Colorado. They went to Game 7 overtime, and Kivaranta stuck the knife in Nathan McKinnon. So they and guess what? Listen, like Calgary gave them, worked them over, right? Then you move on, and then you go into Colorado, and then Vegas. That series just what a shocker! Like never expected that to happen. Mind-boggling. But you know what? I also think, listen, they just had a couple of days off. Like the boys haven't honestly gotten that much rest. I mean, Hedman and Kucherov look like they are just, they've been lifting rocks at the tops of mountains for the last 30 years, and they just never get tired.
When you finish every series in 5 and 6 and everybody else goes 7, you got time to relax. So, I mean, you got a team that is bumping out minutes and eating up minutes against a team that battled versus Colorado, but I mean, you were done in 5 versus Vegas. So let's be honest, Dallas has a big break here.
I think a wild card.
Dallas needs the break. Let's take a look at the two rosters and talk about veterans versus a mix of veterans and young guns.
And just young guns.
Way more vets on Dallas. There's young guns, but way more vets on Dallas who need the break, as opposed to Tampa Bay, who has Cirelli's and Yanni Gourds and these guys who are young guns that they'll play every night if they can. I mean, you look at Cirelli, he would go to double overtime. The way he plays, you watched him win after, we're talking about the Cup, so I'm going to get into Cirelli a little bit. We're going to call him Anthony Overtime Cirelli, like the article that I saw. 2015 Memorial Cup overtime game winner. 2017 OHL game winner. 2020 Eastern Conference Game 6 final overtime winner. The guy comes to play in all the right moments, and a guy who, let's be honest, Dallas needs a break with the veterans. Cirelli looks like he's ready to go every night of the week. He's 23 years old. He's raring to play. All he wants to do is play. Same with Yanni Gourde. You have a slew of young guys on Tampa Bay, much more than Dallas, that could easily play every night. So the break, to me, doesn't make much of a difference right now. You just have too many guys that could eat minutes on Tampa Bay. It's not much of a break. It's one extra game. What do you got? You argue with me. Let's argue. What do you got?
But to me, Braden Point did miss Game 3 and Game 5 in the last series. He literally said,
"But is it a break if you're injured? You're hurt. You're recovering. So are you really on a break? You're at physical therapy. You're moving. You're shaking. Right. You're trying to get fixed. You're nervous.
Is he too dinged up? Is it a break? Is he too dinged up? He even says every time you go out there, every time you play a game, you're not coming away without bumps and bruises. These guys were blocking like 50, 60 shots a night, and that hurts. I mean, you know it better than anybody. It freaking hurts when you're taking 10 shots a game off your body, And so I don't know. If Kucherov has to be the only one without Point a night, that's going to be some big nights for Dallas to maybe steal a couple games and drive this series to a game.
My thing about Dallas is they can score at a pace that Tampa Bay can score at. So, let's see if we get into a shootout. I think that Tampa Bay comes out on top because, let's be honest, Khudobin's been great. But how could anybody bet against Vasilevsky versus Khudobin? How could you do it? You know what I mean? I love Khudobin. I'm happy for him. I don't know if you got to see the video the other day. I'm going to post it actually in a few minutes here on our Instagram. Great video. We're not going home. Khudobin, just a legend. Just the boys in the locker room love him. Barely speaks English. He's like a fucking caveman, a Viking. He's got the beard. He's wearing the Under Armour. He's so pumped. He knows what he's doing. He's immaculate and incredible. And I mean, I'm just excited, to be honest with you, Tim. I'm all over the place right now. My brain is scattered. I don't know who I want to bet tonight. I am going to bet tonight because it's Saturday. The weekends come. I love to fire. I like to bet the ponies. Love to bet
You got to do that now. You got to do it now. We're against the line right now. The game's going on.
I'm a 7:26 guy. So you're going to see me in about 16 minutes make a bet. I can't decide who I want to win. I'm thinking after an emotional finish with the Islanders – that maybe Dallas shows us their game tonight. I think tonight I'm gonna take the money line with Dallas tonight. I'm gonna go for the money.
I'll match you on that because I would do the same.
I don't know. They were plus 165 coming out the gate. I'm gonna pull something up for us here. Let's take a look. Readyforgamble.com. My boy Vinny killing it out here. We love you, pal.
my one best expectation of this game and what I'm really looking forward to watching is Yoel Kivaranta, Rupe Hintz, Corey Perry versus Yanni Gord, Blake Coleman, and Barclay Goodrow. Line 3 versus line 3. Let's go, baby. Those are two great line 3s. And honestly, the depth is going to go head to head. They're going to be beating each other back. And I think it might get a little gritty tonight. I think game 1, I think Tampa just comes out punching, storming the goaltender a little bit. They're going to get in Khudobin's face. They might spray him with some ice. It's going to happen. I know Patty Maroon is just fiending.
You know it's going to get nasty out there. I mean, and let's be honest, Dallas is heavy, and Tampa Bay's got a couple of guys that'll get after it. Cirelli will get right in there. He'll drop the mitts. He's a 50-point guy. He'll drop the mitts. He'll go with anybody. Pat Maroon is a proven tough guy. He'll go with Reeves. He'll go with anyone. So, I mean, let's be honest. Dallas is a heavy West Coast team versus a high-paced, almost a similar cup to like in LA versus New Jersey and LA versus New York. It's a fast-paced Eastern Conference team with skill versus a Western Conference team that has skill and heaviness. It's a very similar, approach here. And I got ready for gamble up. So let's see what these lines are. Let's bullshit here a little bit.
I mean, we're 25 minutes into the episode. I think the people want to hear what we're going to do. And honestly, at this point, with how we've been doing at the Lamp, you got to bet against us.
We're talking gambling. We're not finished just yet. We're talking gambling. Let's get into predictions. We're gonna make a bet. We might as well talk predictions for a minute here. I mean, I like Dallas tonight. I got to be honest with you. I'm going Tampa Bay in 6 for the series. I mean, I think Dallas squeaks one out tonight. I think Tampa Bay maybe wins 2 or 3 in a row. Dallas squeaks one more out to hang on, and I just think Tampa Bay's too overwhelming. I mean, if Point stays in the lineup, I don't see a way that Tampa Bay loses this series. Point and Vasilevsky. Let's be honest. I don't care who your backup is. Khudobin's playing hot. So if you don't have a guy of the caliber of Vasilevsky who's going to outplay a goalie as like look at Matt Murray. He won 2 cups with Tampa Bay. I mean, with Pittsburgh, I wouldn't say mediocre, but not a great goaltender. When a goalie's hot, a goalie's hot. So for me, Khudobin is that hot right now, and there's only one goalie in the league that is better than him even when he's not hot, and it's Vasilevsky. So for me, I'm going Tampa Bay. As long as Vasilevsky and Point stay in the lineup, I got Tampa Bay in 6. And tonight, I'm going to take the Dallas Stars at plus 140 for $1.50. How do you like it?
I'm ready to match that Dallas bet without a doubt. I think I'm going.
Should we go 100 each, or should we go? I'm thinking 350's a little, 300's a little much. Let's go 200 at plus 140 on the Dallas Stars tonight.
The Lamp Boys have a bet in house.
The Lamp Boys are back for the first time since the round robin because we were that bad. So we waited for to jump back on board, but we're here. Hopefully we could grab a quick 280 here tonight, 300, and start the Stanley Cup off right, and then ride the Tampa Bay train after tonight and really bury it and get our money back.
So from my side, I'm gonna go Tampa Bay in 7, and I only think what I think is I actually think Dallas actually starts out and goes 2-0, and then you just see an absolute roaring comeback from Tampa Bay with Steven Stamkos in the lineup. And I'm expecting him to show up because I think hold
on, Lamp Boys, hot take. We have
all I'm saying.
Mr. Amendola likes the Dallas Stars to go up 2-0. And after they go up 2-0, we get an injection into the Tampa Bay lineup, the ultimate trade deadline per se move. Your own player, your captain, one of the best players in the league, showing back up for game 3, jumping in a third line role, being the captain, and Tampa Bay coming back to win in 7. An absolute miracle series, the story of a lifetime. Hot take from Mr. fucking Beardola. I love it.
Let me ask you this. If you were the captain, if you were Steven Stamkos, who's skating right now in private sessions, in optional sessions, he's on the ice, he's rehabbing, he has a constant schedule. If you saw your boys down 2-0, 3-0, you think you would not even try to step on the ice or get in the locker room?
I'd be going to get a robotic, whatever his injury is, we'd be getting a robotic limb, and we'd be getting back out there. And you know what? He's done it before.
Wouldn't matter.
He came back from a shattered leg and tore the league apart like he never left. So for me, I've been saying it all along. If he comes back, I mean, what an already an embarrassment of riches, but I mean, let's be honest. You throw Stamkos in the lineup, it's disgusting. It's not fair. The league should not allow it. I disagree. I'm just joking. But, I mean, wow. It's
I'm
not
just
even
saying,
fair.
I don't see a guy with that amount of character, that amount of leadership, that amount of firepower just saying, I'm a little too hurt to sit out. And honestly, as a player in that locker room, knowing that he can – any player that can stand, put skates on, and shoot a puck, you're good to go. That's about all you need to do, and you need to just find the willpower to make that injury not matter. I mean,
and let's be honest
I've taped skates to my foot because I've rolled ankles. Like, I've not been able to see out of a left eye.
I wanted to commit to college, Division III. Got pushed out of the D1 loop. Knew I was headed for D3. My last 4 months of the season, I got hit behind by a kid from the Rockets. Ended up going D1. Stud. Don't lie. I can't stand him. I'm not even going to say his name to abuse him on here, but hits me from behind, tears 2 ligaments in my ankle. I'm going to rehab every day for the last 4 months of my 21-year-old age out season, 20-year-old age out season, and I'm going on the ice Saturday and Sunday after physical therapy Tuesday through Friday and practicing half practices because my coach knew I wanted to commit. He didn't want to hurt me, so he would bring me on the ice. I'd practice for power play, penalty kill, anything that had to do with systems. I was on the ice. Anything physical, he kept me on the bench, did the right thing. You know, I've been there, done that. I did that to play Junior A, so I could only imagine what a guy like Steven Stamkos, after all the accolades and after all he's done to be where he is today, walking away from an opportunity like this.
Stanley Cup. A Stanley Cup.
And let's be honest, there's a great possibility, as much as nobody has said a word because he's the team's captain, they've had so much chemistry without him, and they have so many cap issues ahead that they're looking at moving Sorellis and guys that are going to be there for 10 years and be successful. And Stamkos has been there for 10 years and been successful. Let's be honest, Stamkos could very well be on the trade block on October 9th come free agent signing day. Do you want to walk away to grab a cup before possibly getting traded? And in his head, you got to realize that's a possibility.
The rumor mill is hot. Listen, once it's out into the ether, it's in your head, it's on your mind. I know hockey players are really great at just focusing on the cup is all that matters right now. Whatever happens after happens after. But I know in my heart, if I would any hockey player that's given enough to this sport to make it to the NHL, to even have the opportunity to compete for Lord Stanley's Cup, I don't see him allowing himself not to compete and watching his team lose. So I'm saying Dallas goes up 2-0.
What about his situation? You know, you got to realize maybe I'm going to get traded. I've given this organization 10 awesome years. There's a very good possibility I get traded. How do I not walk away as a 10-year captain, 1 Stanley Cup Final, 3 Eastern Conference Finals, Rocket Richard trophies, Hart trophies? I mean, the whole shit. He's got every accomplishment, even a fucking a gold medal with Canada. He's got it all, everything but the cup. How do you not get back in the lineup? Unless he's deathly injured, he's got a torn ACL, MCL, LCL, a torn labrum, a rotor cuff in his shoulder. How could you potentially let your last opportunity with the team that you built on your shoulders from nothing walk away? I just don't see it happening from a guy like Steven Stamkos. So just an injection that I think is definitely going to happen, and an injection that doesn't allow them to lose. That's my opinion. That's why I have Tampa Bay in 6.
So me and JG right on the same page. We're going with Dallas early. We're going with Tampa to just basically come on and just not allow this series to go any other way. We'll see what happens. We'll be coming back to you. Hopefully we can get on a live broadcast for you fans, and hopefully we can stream one of the games and just really call it out, be excited, be on the broadcast, drink some beers, get a live chat going. We love to have people on and just commenting with us just about what's going on in the game and what their thoughts are, and we'll definitely chirp you chirp us back, but definitely looking to do it. But JG, why don't you close us out, give us some final thoughts.
I mean, basically where I'm at is, man, it's what's today? September 19th. We have 2 days left in summer. We're headed for game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, this is a unique time on this planet, period. We have a lot of crazy shit going on between elections and pandemics and everything going on in the world. To have a hockey game in the middle of all of this when there was never, ever supposed to be hockey, I mean, I got to be honest, I'm just excited. I'm elated. I'm happy. I got to watch hockey on my birthday, the first game of the playoffs. I mean, just something I'm never going to get to do again in my life. So, you know, before we get into the Stanley Cup here, let's just talk about how awesome it's been to just get this thing started. And here we are, man, episode 19, headed for hopefully an episode 20 with a live broadcast for the first time on a new app we're using, StreamYard here. Shout out to the boys. We're loving it already. You know, just an exciting time, to be honest with you. So I just want to finish off on that note. We appreciate everybody jumping on board with us. We appreciate the extra ads, the extra follows, the boys we played with jumping in, getting involved, agreeing to do some interviews here coming up in the off season. So we got a lot going on. We got a new social media guy jumping into play. I'm going to try and get him on Monday night if I can. You know, we're going to talk to him before the episode. So just a lot of nice stuff coming up. And to have a hockey game September 19th for the first time in my life is just, you know, I'm excited, man. Fall coming up here, hockey's still going. So basically how I wanted to end it, just a shout out to all the fans, everybody helping us get this thing moving, and just excited to watch the Stanley Cup tonight.
I agree. And JG, think about it. Just like think about what the joy is going to be in terms of once the Stanley Cup ends, and then we just transition.
Baby.
Just like what a delightful time, like to just
look,
end the Stanley Cup. Grab the number 1 overall pick.
This is the most happy I've ever been to watch Dallas versus Tampa Bay in the Stanley Cup. I know what's to come. The Rangers are on the cusp. We got a lot going on. Everything's been fantastic. And, you know, not much more to say, fans. Just like, share, follow. Do us a huge solid. Jump on board. Throw us ads. You know, we're looking to expand here. And we hope you're getting as excited as us with all this content. And we also got some more stuff coming up this week, so just stay tuned. We got some short episodes coming up, trade talk, trophy talk, and hopefully a live broadcast this week for the Stanley Cup. So a lot of big things coming up for the Lamp Boys. Excited to talk to you as always, Mr. Beardola. Another beer in the books, little Pink Whitney in the books. Happy Saturday. I appreciate everything, pal. Thank you for hanging on. Had a degenerate day. Fans, sorry for the late start, but excited to get the cup going, pal. So, you know, have a great night, and let's finish her up here.
All right, we're going to be signing out, fans. Like JG said, a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of evolution to the Lightin the Lamp channel and podcast, and we're going to be expanding pretty rapidly here and getting some more things going. So hope you enjoy. Like, share, comment, and we're tuning out. But cheers, enjoy the weekend, and we'll be seeing you again.